Yeah, what's up?
What you up to?
I'm working on a review.
Oh, can I do it this time?
No, you can't do this review.
Oh, come on.
I let you do the seafood review, and it was so bad I couldn't actually release it. So, no.
Please, 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 please.
No, stop asking.
How about we rock, paper, scissors for it?
Fine. Rock, paper, scissors, best 2 out of 3.
Yes! So what rules?
What do you mean, what rule set?
You haven't played with variations?
No, I haven't played with variations.
Alright, we'll keep it simple. Fire Emblem rules.
Okay. Sure. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What are you doing?
I crit.
What does that mean?
Yo, dude, what are you doing? Dude, I already lost.
What was that?
Alright, loser gets to pick the rules.
It's my turn to pick. XCOM?
XCOM? You sure? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes! What are you doing? I won. What are you doing?
You missed.
What do you mean I missed?
Look right there.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Alright. Next round. I'm still up 1-0. Make your choice.
Triangle strategy.
Triangle strategy? Never heard of that rule set. Okay.
Alright.
Oh no. It looks like he's going to throw scissors. I'm already about to throw paper. I need to figure out what I can do here. Triangle strategy allows you to use environmental aspects to weaken your foes and make other attacks more effective. Luckily, I've got some water around. If I splash that at his feet, he'd be susceptible to electric attacks.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't just pour water on the ground.
Lightning bolt!
What is this?
Wait for it.
What do you mean?
And paper beats rock.
Looks like he'll be out of commission for a while.
This is GG Review. Triangle strategy.
It's been well over a decade since Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions was released by Square Enix. With the announcement of Triangle Strategy, people were hopeful that it could be a spiritual successor to the Tactics franchise. In some ways, it fulfills that role. In a genre that has been all but dominated in the West by Fire Emblem, Triangle Strategy brings back the feeling of Final Fantasy Tactics inside an Octopath Traveler package. Combat is complex without being overly complicated. Encounters require you to take into account positioning, abilities, and character resources. Environmental effects have the ability to completely flip a battle. Playing on hard, the enemy strikes where it hurts, targeting your most important and vulnerable combatants. Numerous times my enemies would shift focus from my spy stabbing them in the back to attack a more vulnerable and advantageous target, usually my healer. I appreciated that my opponents would behave intelligently. I can't think of a time in which I was able to cheese a fight. Overall, the tactics combat was refreshing coming from Fire Emblem and XCOM. But like I said, this game is a tactics game in an Octopath Traveler package. That's because the tactical battles are only a third of the game. Another third of the game is the RPG. You spend the rest of your time exploring regions and talking to the characters. And it's important to do so because each conversation may increase the main character, Serenoa's, convictions. Conviction is an invisible stat that impacts the story. Depending on your decisions, your convictions will change, and it will determine who you can recruit and who you can persuade. And persuasion is vital in controlling your destiny in this story. At each branching point, Serenoa will bring out a handy-dandy scale and provide each person in your party with a token. Your party members will then vote on a decision of where to take the story. The first vote is in Chapter 3 and determines whether you visit the Snow People or the Sand People. Serenoa will note that he doesn't have a vote in this matter. He will then prompt you to go around and persuade people to vote the way you want. Very democratic. But this is where triangle strategy really excels. The complexity of the branching story. You could probably take a dozen people and each person would have an extremely different experience throughout the game. And not all decisions will be as easy as snow or sand. I won't spoil anything, but the game sets up some moral dilemmas throughout the story. Oh, and for those keeping track, there is another third of the game that I haven't touched on yet, but we'll get there. The music goes hard. When I first opened this game, I ended up just sitting at the main screen. Listen to the opening sequence. Throughout the game, I would find myself stopping what I was doing just to listen to the various themes. They're all extremely unique, and some are just absolute bops. I'll stop talking so you can listen. I love the art style in this game. The environments are beautiful, and the 2D sprites running around, it all just works so well. And on top of that, each character has a full art depiction if you open up their character profile. This game is a work of art, and the character designs are just... I had to make a new category because for some people this could be a good thing and for others not. The game is slow. The tactics combat has a lot of stuff going on. Each character has movement, at least one action, and then a decision on which way to face. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Age Origins or Pillars of Eternity, where each battle in tactical mode would take easily an hour. For me, I don't mind that. As long as you get used to the tools available to you, it begins to get a little bit faster. But I still found myself taking 20 to 30 minutes for the simplest encounters. I'm talking 6-on-6 deathmatch in a flat square battlefield. Once you start adding elevation, environmental effects, alternative objectives, double the units, things start to take a while. The dialogue in this game is mostly fine, but you know what's not good? The English voice actors. There are a handful of good performances in there, Big B being one of them. I'm sorry, Adam Harrington, your voice is too recognizable.
And given the wind, I think it likely that S-Frost's ship will arrive ahead of schedule.
I looked it up, and Sarah Noah's voice actor has no noteworthy prior performances. And it's not surprising. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Taylor, nice to hear from you. Oh, you're not coming into the studio to do your lines today? I see. You'd rather phone them in. Joking aside, it legitimately sounds like he's reading his lines like one would read the morning paper. Like this line here.
I cannot say for sure what repercussions this may have. What I do know is that the people rejoice for us and harbor hope for the future.
Some of the other voice actors sound no better than a text-to-speech bot. Like this one, listen.
I shan't let you down.
And here's the text-to-speech bot.
I shan't let you down.
It's ridiculous, but at least the game allows you to switch to Japanese with English text. So if you're used to watching anime, like I am, it might be your preferred play. At least the game allows you to switch to Japanese with English text. So if you're used to watching anime, this might be the way to play. For me, it was my preferred.
父上がやっているのは接待ばかりじゃないか。
Remember how there was a third of the game that I hadn't touched on yet? Well, it's time to talk about the last third of the game. The cutscenes. There are so many back-to-back cutscenes in this game. I think between the first two battles of the game, I watched an hour of cutscenes. It was brutal, especially since the cutscenes are just 2D sprites standing there talking to one another. It's the equivalent of listening to an audiobook with pictures. It really just isn't all that captivating, especially since I found the story kind of safe. You have 3 kingdoms, each has total control of one vital resource. They fight over them. There's more to it than that. There's some nuance. There's, each kingdom has its own steep lore, but it doesn't really do anything new. Especially with 3 Houses having come out a few years ago. The story I went down with the religious desert kingdom wasn't surprising or gripping. It was just safe. It wasn't a bad story. It just wasn't an incredible one. I'm off topic though. We're talking about the storytelling, and the storytelling in this game is exclusively dialogue and collectibles. There's no room for interpretation because the game will just tell you information. Even meeting new characters. If you open up their profile, it'll give you a brief blurb about their personality and or accomplishments. And it's not even necessary. Like, I can tell by the artwork and their actions that Erica and Thalis are asshats. Look how easy this is, Square Enix. Here's a bunch of characters. Which ones do I think might have malintent? The designs speak for themselves, so let them. This is my biggest gripe with Triangle Strategy. It's incredibly bogged down by the way it presents itself. It's entirely its own doing, and it doesn't respect the player's time at all. I had very few nitpicks with this game, but I still had a couple. The first, battles tend to end in either lopsided gangbangs where your entire party is kicking the shit out of one enemy, or a one-on-one exchange where you can't lose because you have healing items and they don't. Either outcome gives battles a really lackluster finish. This one I didn't understand. The main character is just a banner lord for the king, particularly one that is known for their fighting prowess and not much else. So how come I'm constantly being asked for insight into the geopolitics of the region? I feel like that's not my place to say. Oh, and this was my favorite. I can just go into random people's places and take their things. Triangle Strategy was one of my most anticipated titles this year. I have over 200 hours in XCOM. I love a good tactics game. When you're allowed to experience the tactics portion of this game, it's excellent. The RPG elements are also rather superb, but the game is bogged down by long stretches of cutscene upon cutscene with poorly acted dialogue. Personally, I'll keep playing this game because it's been a while since 3 Houses came out and I need a tactics game in my life. But if you don't think you have the patience to wade through the hours of cutscenes, you may find the game boring. Overall, Triangle Strategy employed a 3-point approach to their game and only nailed 2 of them. That, my friends, is a line segment, not a triangle. Thanks for watching. This one was difficult, but we got there. Special shout out to our patron, Jeremy R. Please leave a like and comment below. It really does help us with the algorithm. Next month, I'm targeting either Advance Wars or Switch Sports. I haven't decided yet. If you have a preference, feel free to leave a note in the comments. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. I'm kidding, y'all. Remember, stay groovy.